Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel. It's definitely Ruud van Nistelrooy's final game in charge as interim manager, but will it be the final farewell after this game as Ruben Amorim enters Manchester United as the head coach on Monday? Get involved in the chat as usual, Reds, because this is the match preview. Manchester United versus Leicester. Thoughts going into this game?
We're 13th, and if the results go the way against United, we could be 16th. That cannot happen. No way. And going into Amorim's first game, Ipswich, we don't want to be 16th. We need a win, and we have to get a win. 3 points are the most vital thing for a long time. I'm telling you, we cannot be 16th.
Yeah, do you think Ruud van Nistelrooy, though, has kind of steadied the ship, considering the last performances under Erik ten Hag, though?
Yeah, I think you could say that, steadied it. That's what it's been, short term, 4 games, interim. I think that's the right categorisation, to be honest with you. I spit that out. I got it out.
Give us a pat on the back.
Yeah. You ain't getting no pat on the back on me because I'm still out here in the cold. No, I think he's just steadied the ship. We know he wants to be United manager. Spoke about it yesterday. In the future, I think that in itself, that comment will cause problems. But listen, he's just got to concentrate on getting 3 points for United against Leicester. This will be a different Leicester side than what played in the Carabao Cup. They will make plenty of changes, and United have just got to make sure they don't get caught out.
Based on these comments that are going to come up on screen shortly, I do expect this to be his final farewell at Manchester United, and the decisions to be made for Van Nistelrooy to move on to somewhere else, whether that's being an assistant coach somewhere else or even a manager at another club.
You've enjoyed the role. Would you one day like to think of yourself as a permanent manager of Manchester United?
Yeah, of course, I thought this through well when I made the decision to come to United as an assistant manager or assistant coach. I thought that through, and I knew that coming to Manchester United was for me a special occasion where I felt I want to be part of this journey with the club in also an assistant role. I had clear ambitions to manage. I made the decision to sign a 2-year deal as an assistant, and I'm still in that frame of mind, to be fair, to stay in that capacity.
And when you talk about Ruud van Nistelrooy tomorrow, give him a farewell tomorrow, but it's really all about getting behind them players. That's what it's about. I think, to be honest with you, when you talk about Ruud's his comments there, I think it was the final nail in the coffin to us all, knowing that you can't have somebody who wants to be the future manager. The media, the press, everybody will be on about it all the time, undermining Amorim if any bad results go. So I think it was the nail in the coffin. I think Ruud knows it's the end. His ambitions are there to be a manager. Did speak about it yesterday, about Paul Scholes sort of saying he's a manager, he's not an assistant manager, he needs to move on. So it's clear as day to me. Ruud's going, Amorim's coming in, and we need 3 points.
Yeah, it's been clear as day for me for the past 2 weeks. Keep repeating myself that it'd be best for Nistelrooy to move on somewhere else, get that experience as a manager, because as we know in football, managers don't last too long. And we've just got to hope that Amorim, when he does come in, we have a long and successful spell under him. And who knows for the future, because a lot of Manchester United fans we speak to and engage with on our YouTube channel and in the comment section, a lot of people would like to see Ruud van Nistelrooy back in the dugout as the permanent Manchester United manager. So if he can go away, get that education, be successful himself, I'm sure at some point in the future his name will be linked again with the manager's job at Manchester United. But I think if he was to stay here as part of the coaching staff and things didn't go too well, you'd have them periods where we're not getting the results that the fans want and the club demand themselves, he will be linked to that job in the dugout again, and it would be all too easy for the management in place to fire the manager and put Ruud in charge again whilst they find another manager. And we don't really want that. We want to try and have some stable success here, and I do think Amorim's the right man for the job, but let him bring fresh ideas, his new coaching staff. Let's start afresh and let's go again. But as for Sunday, fully backing Ruud van Nistelrooy, and I just hope we get the win, and especially for him and the fans.
I think Ruud stabilised the club at the moment, well, on the pitch with the results. But looking into the future, I don't know where the future is going to be with Ruud van Nistelrooy. And I think, to be honest with you, I'm not one for dreary eyes, dreaming,
sentiment,
anything like that. Sentiment's out the window. Listen, anyone who's going to become the Manchester United manager in the future after Amorim has to deserve it, no matter what. Sentiment out the window.
No, totally agree with that. He did give us some injury updates as well. We've seen Yoro back in training this week, a massive lift. And when you've got a manager coming in like Amorim as well, you look at some of the younger talent that we have got like Yoro, Ahmad, Garnacho, Højlund, Kobbie Mainoo, and you're expecting big things really, aren't you, from this manager in the way he's done his work at Sporting Lisbon with some of the younger players over there.
Yeah, it's big things we're expecting, but let's hope it don't crash down. Let's hope it all works out, because there is potential there, but we've had potential before. And I'm not being a doomsayer. I'm just saying it how it is. We've had potential. We've had people coming into this squad on the pitch as though like these are the saviour and all that, and it's not turned out that way. But optimistic, there's kids there, and let's hope Amorim can turn it round. I just look at the side now. Well, you just mentioned injuries about Lenny Yoro. Shaw's back. So Lenny Yoro and Shaw, they're back on the pitch training. How long before they come back? I don't know. Luke Shaw, and anyone can guess about that. He could just break down at any minute. But, you know, there is people coming back. And for Amorim, when he does come back in, he might have a full squad to pick from. And that's something not a lot of managers have had lately.
Yeah, that is a very rare occurrence when they have a fully fit squad, not just at Manchester United, but all Premier League teams, to be fair. But you got the likes of Christian Eriksen, he got some minutes midweek as well. Mason Mount, so you expect them two to be back in the squad. And at least it looks like we might have a bit of a stronger bench to choose from as well in the games, which, to be fair, we've not had for a number of weeks as well. You know, when you've looked at the bench before the game starts, you think, well, you know, if the game's not really going your way, who is it you can choose from to make a difference to come off the bench?
De Ligt, Martinez, I think they'll come straight back in. Leicester is very important. We have to win, and I don't care how we win. They'll set up differently than when we played them. I just look at it and I think to myself, loose ball, they will pounce on us. That's how I see it. That's my worry about the game. You look
Manchester United don't normally, well, in recent weeks, actually win that second ball. I mean, a lot of the times recently when the ball is going up top, is it sticking to any of the front three? It's not really doing that. Most of the time the ball's either coming inside square or going back to the fullbacks or in the midfielders. It's not really going forward. And the only person I see in that top four right now who looks up when he gets the ball and can do something with it is Ahmad. And I'd like to see him start for this one. Garnacho took a bit of a knock and come off in midweek, so I'd expect him to be rested really for this. Why risk him in the last game before the international break when you've got Ahmad to come in there? I think Rashford will probably start in this one though, but there's no point risking any more players when you've got a new manager to come in and you'd like as fully fit squad as possible for him to work with during that break as well, or just after the break.
Well, there's two things there. Yeah, listen, Ahmad deserves to start. He'll be absolutely gutted if he doesn't. Who gets dropped, Garnacho or Rashford? You know, that's anyone's guess. And there was lots of balls the other night and other games where we've given away bad passes and been caught, but we've not been punished. Let's hope we don't get punished against Leicester, because it'll be an absolute disaster if we don't get 3 points. A draw is no good. I don't care what anyone says. A draw is no good. No. We need the 3 points. But one player I'm going to keep my eye on, and that's Dalot. He has to improve. He's had a poor run of games. Ball watching, slow, not passing the ball right, not doing the right thing for a full-back. He has to improve. He's not been up to standard. I thought he was decent last year, thought he was getting better, but for some reason, he's just not on the ball. So he is under massive pressure against this Leicester side.
I mentioned a couple of weeks ago about Dalot, about big moments in the attacking area and defensive, and I don't really need to go over them again because I still stand by that opinion. But with Bruno Fernandes as well, I thought Højlund had a pretty poor game the other night in midweek in terms of just holding the ball up and being able to play off with someone and off someone. But that also comes back down to Bruno, I guess, as well, where he needs to get further forward, where he's in and around Højlund as well. He set up Ahmad, though, for the first goal, a great assist, great cross for him. But we need to see Bruno further up there, being able to link off the front three as well and create things for them.
I think Bruno was up there. He just wasn't connecting. Some of his passing was going astray. And that's been poor from Bruno. He's got high standards and it's been poor from him. So he has to look at himself and he has to step up. And you talk about Højlund there, holding the ball keeps bouncing off him. That was a bit of criticism when he first come in. And it just seems it just won't seem to stick to him. It's very hard for the centre-forward to have his back to goal and keep working. And when he's the only man in the middle, and he didn't really get in the middle the other night, he has to improve. He has to be facing the goal and the ball coming to him, running onto it. Let's hope he improves. It's a tough task up there because the ball just does not come to our centre-forward. And when you don't hold it, you're not looking good. And he didn't look good the other night.
Yeah, let's hope the players themselves are motivated. That's what it comes down to. You can't just all put it on the manager, Ruud van Nistelrooy, and the coaches. They've got to do the preparation themselves, get in the right mind, the right focus for the game and motivate themselves. And I just hope in this game as well, the back four do push up more or less to the halfway line and Onana gets his back four out, because when we do that, we are capable of creating chances and the team looks a lot more compact when they do that with the defence alongside the midfield alongside the attack as well. And a player for me who I think has been really steady and improved as the season's actually gone on, despite results, is Mazraoui. And you could possibly look over the last 2 to 3 years. And for me personally, right now, he's probably been our best signing in the last 2 to 3 years in the way he's actually coming. You think of the price tag as well. And he looks like a proper player for me. He looks like a proper steady player. He'll always be giving you a 7, 8 out of 10 every single game, a minimum.
I think what you look at Mazraoui, he's not let United down.
No, that's it.
Right, and there's lots of players who have let United down, but he hasn't let United down. I thought he had a decent game the other night, and I thought he's played well since he's come here. And I think he'll just improve. And with Amorim coming in with his coaching staff, I think he'll improve him. He'll improve that back four and Onana. I think when you look at the Chelsea game, what happened there, a lot of criticism of Onana, and I didn't really understand it, like long balls and everything else like that. But if you look at what Chelsea did, Chelsea hunted us down. They didn't give us the space to play the ball out from the back. So there was a lot of times Onana was just clearing it out, which was the right thing because it stopped the press from Chelsea and it actually stopped them holding the ball and working and coming at United. So I'll look at the Leicester game, and you've got to be wary about them pouncing on Onana. But he needs to push up. That's what we need. We might see a change of system, change of tactics, where Onana goes out, he comes out the penalty box, and the back four pushes up. But you can only push up if they don't do the press. And when I seen it against Chelsea, they press United constantly. And Onana adapted to it. And I thought he had an excellent game then. And I think he's had an excellent season. Well, a good start to the season, shall I say. So hopefully he'll improve and that back four will improve.
Yeah, our press from the front four needs to improve a lot.
It's terrible.
When you look at the midweek game in the Europa League, that was one of the worst actually that I'd ever seen it. I don't know if that was like a message, instructions from Ruud van Nistelrooy as to sort of like abandon that tactic in pressing their back four. But it just looked non-existent for me. But you'd expect it in the Premier League, a totally different game to when we played them in the Carabao Cup. So the intensity will be there from Leicester. And they'll want to finish on a high themselves going into the international break. If they do beat us, they'll go above us in the league table. And we can't have that. So there will be motivation there from Leicester based on our current performances this season and where the current standing are for Manchester United as a club. But I'm just going to finish it there. Just like to thank everyone for joining us. It's very cold outside. We'll be making a move shortly up until Old Trafford to go and watch the game. We will be back straight after the game with match reactions. Hopefully Webby's available to join us today after the match. So get your notification on and we will do 2 match reactions. So see you there. Thank you.
Thank you.